Hi, hello, welcome back to this channel. My name is Taya and I'm a knitter, reader, crocheter, musical theater lover located in Southern California. And if that sounds like a fun time, I think you should subscribe. Just like the title suggests, I am going to be grabbing a spinner wheel. Let me go ahead and pull it up. Here we are. So I have a spinner wheel ready, full of all of my works in progress and a few cast-ons that I'm looking forward to that I'm going to let take control of my crafting for this week. Let's go ahead and get straight into the first spin. Theme song. No. Oh dear. I'm laughing because I've been putting this project off forever. Okay, here's what's gonna happen though. I'm not going to remove anything. So there's a chance that I could work on this multiple times this week. Let's go ahead, get working on the sporty shrug. Okay, so if you're new around here, I'm laughing because I've been putting off this project for so long. It's getting ridiculous at this point, but the yarn that I'm using for this, I have already made 2 or 3 different items already, and I just can't run out of yarn. I definitely ordered way too much when I placed the order for the 2 projects I knew I was going to be making, but now I am dealing with the consequences of having leftovers. I was really excited about this specific item when I started it, but I'm learning that my yarn choice is not that exciting anymore because, like I said, I've already used it for 2 other items, and that's honestly why I haven't worked on this. But this is now the only thing that I will be working on today. I'm not allowed to get distracted and start working on another project. I left this part out of the intro though. I am in the middle of a 60-day cross-stitch challenge, so the only, I guess, caveat to this would be I'm still going to work on my cross-stitch as well, but I do have to prioritize whatever project the spinner wheel chooses. And I think that was actually where I was supposed to decrease, so hold tight. Okay, after this round I decrease. I'll check in with you guys after the end of the day. It's tomorrow and it is way later in the day than I meant to update, but here we are. So I want to quickly show you what I got done yesterday, and then we can move on to today's spin, which I did do this morning. I have been working on all day, but I figured we should probably do an update before I get too far into anything. So this mushroom right here is where we started yesterday, and yesterday's spin was to work on this sporty shrug. I did have mental plans of doing 4 repeats of the pattern, and I managed to do that. I finished 1 that I was already working on, 2, 3, and there's the 4th right there. So I literally stopped at the 4th repeat, a few stitches into the next one, but or rows, excuse me. I'm happy with the progress we made. maybe if we get this project again later in the week, I won't dread it nearly as much as I've been the last however many times I've told myself I need to work on this project. But let's go ahead and check out what today's spinner wheel told us to do today. All right. My little scarf. I was tasked to work on my little scarf, which I am using my Uluru, unknown what color it is, yarn. I think it's like Sunset or something, if there's even a title. Yarn del Sol, but I don't know if that's the colorway or if it's the like yarn itself. But this is what it looks like. I have 2 full balls of this, and each ball is about 100 something-ish grams. I don't know how many I'm gonna need to do a full scarf. It's been years since I've done a scarf like this. This is the first time I've done one with lace though, and it is working up so cute. So this little yellow charm down here is where we started today. I've done 1 repeat of the pattern. And like I said, with my Sporty Shrug, I had a plan of doing 4 repeats of the pattern for that. And I have a plan or goal to do 2 repeats of the pattern on this week. And these goals that I'm talking about, I planned before I even came up with the idea to do this video. So I might not make it to all of my goals. It really just depends on what the spinner wheel tells us to do. But for now, I have been able to work on projects that I have goals for, and I would like to at least do 1 more repeat of the pattern before the end of the day. And if we're lucky enough, maybe even work on it more throughout the week. So happy Wednesday. It's time to roll for what project I'm working on today. But first I gotta show you the progress from yesterday. Here is what we're looking like for that little scarf. I did 2 repeats of the pattern yesterday, and honestly, I was really nervous that with how crazy chaotic the colors are, that you wouldn't really be able to see the lace, but it's working up really pretty. I like how the colors are working out. It's not like a full self stripe, but it does have that stripy autumn feel. And I'm kind of contemplating, so this is yarn that I got from the senior center. I'm kind of contemplating if I want to keep it for myself for this fall, because I absolutely love the fall and this would just be so fun to have for myself. But the rule is, if you use the yarn from the senior center, you have to give the item back for them to sell. I want it for myself, maybe. We'll see when I'm done with it. But let's roll for today's project. Watch it be this again. The only reason, or the only time I'm going to remove a project from the wheel is if it gets finished. But none of my projects are really in a finishing mode. So I don't know. Let's roll. Okay, proof that I haven't touched it since yesterday. We're going to exit out of here and roll for today. Sporty Shrug again. Okay, let's get back to work on my Sporty Shrug. I like how I said I might not finish anything in this video, but I think, because I don't really have anything else going on today, so I think if I put like some serious effort into it, I can get really close to finishing this and maybe even finish it. I don't know if I'd finish it today, but I could get really close, and if we get it spun again this week, then it's definitely getting finished this week, but we'll see how close I get today. I'm gonna move my mushroom to where we are right now. That way we can see where our progress is by the end of the day. Boop. Boop. Oh, I'm trying to boop you with the project. Boop. Want to knit in peace. Why did you lose it? Why are you leave me alone, sound. Husband made a lovely dinner, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and stop knitting for the day to enjoy this and enjoy the evening with hubby. Welcome to somewhere else in my house that isn't the couch. I feel like for this entire video I've just been stuck on the couch and it looks like I haven't moved, but it's now Thursday and I wanted to show the update of my sporty shrug and also spin the wheel for today. I've already done that actually, and I've already done some work on the new project of the day, but I'm cheating a little bit by working on this. I'm going to show you where we're at, and then I'll explain why I'm cheating just a little bit. You can probably guess because of the towels here, but yeah, we're going to be blocking a little bit of this. It's not done. I didn't finish it, but I need to block it before I move on, and I feel like in the event that we get a spin on this one more time, I'd like to just be able to knit on it and finish it. So I'd like to start the blocking process and let that dry so that if I do spin it again, then I can work on it with no problem, you know? And like, I guess blocking it could be part of the working on it for that day, but that's just where my brain is. Also, because of what we spun, I need to give my hands a break anyways. So yeah, I can't do cross stitch for too long. It like hurts my hands. So I'm already 3 hours in for the day of cross stitch. I need to take a break. So we're gonna do this. So here is the update where we're at. First, look at how much yarn I have left of this skein. I'm really glad I chose to start a whole new skein for the sleeves when I made that choice. But this is what it's looking like. This arm was already done, and this mushroom here is where we were at the start of yesterday, and I made it all the way down. When I tried this on, I'm not going to put it on right now, but when I have it on, it goes to here, or at least that's where it goes while I hold it, but when it is on my body, it made it perfectly to my wrist. The pattern does say to have it go up to the base of your thumb. According to the amount of rows that I have on this arm, I think, and if I'm remembering correctly, I think I stopped it. My pipes are being absolutely insane, I'm so sorry, but I think I stopped it at the wrist actually, but I'm not certain, and that's another reason I want to block it, because I know it grows just a little bit. It doesn't grow crazy, but it grows enough to where at this point I want to check it. The row count is exactly the same as it is before the thumb on the other arm, but you can never be too sure, so we're gonna block it. And also, when I tried this on, I realized, like, now that the arms are attached, this chest section, or like the length of the body, my gosh, pipes, goodness gracious, the length of the body is definitely too short. Like, we're gonna have to pull back the bottom here and add just a bit more, but don't worry, this isn't all that I have left. I also have this and an entire new skein. I'm not lying when I say I have too much of this yarn. I am ready for this to be done. I keep wanting to put it back in here, but I just remembered we're blocking today, so here's my water. I'm not blocking with soap or anything. I'm literally just getting it wet and drying it after that. I've already like blocked the body and the other arm, so I just want to do this sleeve. I'm gonna actually go ahead and remove this. And the reason I'm not doing it with soap right now is because I'm just blocking it for size. I will go back and clean everything once the whole thing is done. Okay. And then I realized too, I never blocked the thumb of this, so we're gonna shove that in there too. Right, 20 minutes in here, and then we can lay it out to dry. Good morning, and here is our update from yesterday's progress. I think we were somewhere over here, and I did all that. Go me. That was a lot of work for sure. I actually chose to time it, and it took like 3 hours. Watch it be the sporty shrug again. Yes. Okay, I was really hoping that I would get to do this week. Oh, hey, good morning. I almost forgot I was recording for a second, but I just wanted to check in and say good morning and kind of like give a new scenery, I guess, for this video, because like I said yesterday, I've kind of just been glued to my couch for this video, I noticed, and I wanted to come outside, drink my coffee, and start a new project, tell you guys about today's spin. So the spinner wheel chose that I start working on my grandpa's socks. I need to get these finished kind of early, and that's kind of why I was like, oh my gosh, I really hope the wheel chooses this because his birthday is on the 7th, and the day that I'm filming this is the 25th of July. So I kind of need to get going on these things, and I was hoping to start these this week anyways, regardless of if I was doing this challenge video. And like obviously throughout the week I was like, oh no, what if the wheel doesn't pick it? And I wanted to like stay true to it, but I am being true to it. The wheel chose that we work on this today. I would have liked if it chose it yesterday because I went to Disneyland and it would have been perfect Disney knitting if I got the cuff done obviously ahead of time, but we are here today now. And yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and sit on my porch, drink my coffee, and get these casted on. I am using Wonderland Dye Works in the color Bayberry for these. And this is actually only going to work as the toes, heel, and cuff because this is definitely not enough to make a grown man pair of socks. It's way too early for that. I just woke up. There's a high school that's right next to my house, and I think that was a group of like coming in freshmen doing like a swim practice or something. Oh my gosh, this yarn doesn't want to cooperate with my method of cast on. Oh no, the yarn is on the floor. Okay, so I'm doing a slip knot cast on right now, and it's going fine, I guess. And now it chooses to work. The moment I choose to complain, it works. I don't know. But yeah, I'll check in with you guys later. I need some coffee, and we'll just keep working on this. I have the whole skein in my lap. Okay, hold on, pause. Where is this coming from? 10 p.m. and this is how much of my sock I have today. You watched me cast it on this morning. And this is what I've gotten to. But I'm not ready to go to bed. So I've got myself a cup of coffee, an audiobook, and my knitting. I want to see how much of this sock I can get done by midnight. So within the next 2 hours, I want to see what I can do, because I don't know if the wheel will be nice enough to let me work on this again tomorrow or for the rest of this week. So I would like to get as much done as possible. So I'm already at the point where I need to start increasing for the heel. I got my entire cuff done and the leg or plain stitching. I'm just doing a basic vanilla sock with a 1x1 rib, and I am actually using the Perfect Fit formula by Nitty Natty to make these socks for my grandpa. So according to his measurements, I need to increase for his heel. I think you usually do. For anybody, you have to increase for the heel, but I have to increase a substantial amount for him. So I'm gonna go ahead and check out my pattern, pop on my audiobook, and get as much knitting done as possible on this sock before midnight. I'll check back in with you later. Okay, it's officially midnight, but I'm at a position in this project where I can't necessarily stop. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue working this heel. I mean, I guess I could stop. Do I want to? No. It's just like, for me, if this is my stopping point, I know that I'll like forget what I'm doing, or potentially like go to move this and lose all the stitches off of the needle. So I kind of just want to continue working on it until I can get the heel done. All right, fingers crossed we land on socks for Grandpa. It's not gonna happen. Cross stitch again. All right. Hello, happy Monday and happy ending of this vlog. It is officially 8 days later since I started this spinner wheel challenge, and it is time to go over everything we finished in the last 7 days of crafting. Since you literally just watched it all, I'm going to quickly just show the final progress of everything and do the fastest little summary I can possibly do of what you literally just watched. Also, if you made it this far, thank you so much. I love having you guys here. So our spinner wheel chose for me to work on my Sporty Shrug 2 days this week, and I managed to finish the sleeve all the way up to the thumb hole, and I learned that I need to add length to the body as well. So I actually just realized, I don't know if I got any footage of yesterday after spinning the wheel, but the wheel did choose that I work on my musical cross stitch. This is how far we got. I think, honestly, at the beginning of the week, I think we were maybe somewhere over here. I really don't know, but the progress is giant for sure. This is 2 full days of focused energy thanks to the spinner wheel, but I was also still working on it throughout the week, every single day for my 60 days of cross stitch challenge. Definitely for the spinner wheel days, I had a lot more effort put into it though. So our spinner wheel also had me working on our little scarf that I'm making for the senior center, quite possibly also making for myself, who knows. We'll find out when this thing is actually done what I decide to do with it. I definitely have enough yarn of this kind that I can make another one if I wanted to and have that one go to the senior center. But here is the progress we had. I think I mentioned that I wanted to maybe do more than just the 2 that I did for that day on this, and I never actually did. So I had originally had a goal to do only 2 repeats of the pattern for the whole week in general, and once I made that goal, I think I was just done. Same thing happened with the sporty shrug one of those days. Overall, progress is still progress, and I'm happy with where everything is coming together. It would have been still cool if I like finished something this week, but like I mentioned earlier in the video too, like I don't think any of these projects were like actually in a position to get finished. So I don't know. The last thing our spinner wheel had us do was cast on a new project, which is this pair of socks here, and I still haven't touched it, I promise. This is in a position where I wouldn't usually like to leave it sitting, but for the sake of this video, and since the wheel did not have us do this again for the week, this is exactly where you last saw it the other day. I have my cuff, my leg, and the first part of the heel completed. I am going to make this a priority project in the next coming days because it is meant to be a present for my grandpa, and his birthday is on the 7th. Today's the 28th, so I don't have very long to finish this pair of socks. If I was able to do that much work in one day, I'm pretty sure if I put the same amount of effort forward, I can probably get the socks done in 2 or 3 days of effort. And that, my friends, is the end of our summary and the end of this video. Thank you so much for making it this far. Please give a like, consider commenting anything you'd like in the comment sections below, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I'd love to have you join my little family over here on my little corner of YouTube. I do have a personal goal of reaching 200 subscribers by my birthday, which is August 27th, 1 month from now, or at least 1 month from the day I'm filming this. I don't know when this video is actually gonna come up. 1 more subscriber wouldn't hurt, or a couple more, who knows? All right, I'm rambling now. Thank you, have a great day. Until next time, cheers.